How can you know if your ideal clients are actually on Facebook or Instagram? I hear this all the time, and I want to share with you exactly how to know if your perfect clients are on this platform. What's going on, guys? Yuri King here. Welcome back. We help professionals grow their coaching businesses online. And one of the most common questions I get asked is, Yuri, I understand you guys run Facebook and Instagram ads, but my people are different. They're not on Facebook or Instagram. And then for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna use Meta as the umbrella just to save words coming out of my mouth. So here's the thing to remember is we have been running ads to health professionals who are growing their coaching businesses online, okay? And we've been doing that for the past 7.5 years. And every single month, month over month, we have been profitable. Now, why I'm sharing that with you is because, and we spend currently about $350,000 to $400,000 per month in ads on Meta. I'm sharing this with you because you could say, well, Yuri, I mean, that sounds like a pretty niche within a niche, and you have still found a way to make it work. And the answer is absolutely. And I want you to know that I don't care who you're serving. If you're working with regular moms and pops or super ultra wealthy people, I've got an interesting story to share with you about that as well in a moment. But I want you to understand that Meta has more than 3 billion users across Facebook and Instagram. So for you to believe that your clients are not on one of two of these platforms, I think is a pretty limited belief that's not helping you. Because where else are they? Where else are they? Yeah, Yuri, well, like I work with busy CEOs. I'm a busy CEO, and guess where I am? Facebook and Instagram. Do I live on those platforms? No, but do I, like, am I on them? Do I see stuff there? For sure. Do I spend more time than I probably want scrolling through Instagram? For sure. We're all humans, right? And I don't want this to be a limiting factor for you because I just see too many people like, well, my people are just not on Facebook. They're on Instagram. Okay, cool. But remember, Facebook and Instagram are under the umbrella of Meta. So when you're running ads or thinking about running ads, it's as simple as checking a box in the ads manager to say, I want to run this same ad on Instagram. If the ad is under 2,200 characters, it will run on Instagram. Okay, so that's as simple as that. There's no like, oh my God, I can't build this business because my people are not on Meta. They're on Meta. They are on Meta. 3 billion people. It doesn't matter if you're stay-at-home moms or busy entrepreneurs, they are on Meta. I was actually on a flight back from LA recently, and I was sitting beside a billionaire. Yeah, a billionaire, okay? He owns 2 professional sports teams. He's literally showing me his phone, text messages back with people in the White House and the Prime Minister of Canada, okay? Like I'm literally seeing his phone. He's showing me the text messages. What was interesting is he also pulled up his Instagram account. Yeah, he has an Instagram account and he was showing me stuff on his Instagram. Here is a multi-billionaire who, in this one instance, decided not to fly his private jet because he was flying to an environmental conference. So obviously, for obvious reasons, he decided to fly commercial. He has an Instagram account. And I want you to understand, again, our clients do not, so when I say our clients, health professionals, they are not working with the ultra wealthy. But even some of them that have worked with like C-level executives, entrepreneurs, they're like, oh, they're on LinkedIn. They're on Meta. I'm telling you, they're on Meta and they're on LinkedIn. Because here's the thing, is that successful people understand, they go where the eyeballs are. So if I'm sitting beside a billionaire, he's showing me his Instagram account, guess who else is on social media? Look at Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, Robert Herjavec. They've also started YouTube channels. Why? Because they know that's where the eyeballs are. So if you're thinking, well, my people are different, they're successful, they're not on these platforms, they are on the platforms. Please, do not allow that to stop you from actually putting your message and advertising, if you so choose, on Meta. Now, how do you go about finding your people, right? So let's say, okay, you sold me, okay, good. So I know my like desperate housewives or my whatever the audience you're trying to serve, they're on Meta. So how do I go about finding them? The answer is this. When you're running ads on Facebook, and I'm just going to use Facebook or Instagram synonymously, it's no longer about micro-targeting. So when I started advertising back in 2013, 2014, it was kind of like the wild, wild west. You get penny clicks. You could like I remember I could target my own page. Like you could search for every single person who had a page and target them specifically, like Yuri King, Dr. Oz, Mark Hyman. You can't do that anymore. A lot of those interests are gone due to Facebook's privacy and, whatever. So initially when that started happening a few years ago, people started freaking out. They're like, oh my God, I can't find my people on Facebook or Instagram if I'm running ads. Meanwhile, here we are increasing our ad spend every single month. Our clients are crushing it, seeing a 314% return on ad spend. How? Because it's not about the granular audiences. It's about your messaging. The beautiful thing about these platforms, Meta specifically, is that it's been around for almost, I'd say 15, 16 years, maybe a little bit more. The algorithm is so advanced now, it has more data than you probably even, either one of us maybe wants to even think about. It is so sophisticated. And what that means is that nowadays, when you're running ads on this platform, the best thing to do is actually to use bigger, broader audiences and allow your messaging to find the right people. And this has actually always been the case. I remember from the time I started Healthpreneur back in 2017, I was like, guys, it's all about the messaging. And now, 7, 8 years later, now it really is all about the messaging because you can't really granularly detail your audiences to the level you used to. And that's a good thing because it makes your campaign structures so much easier to manage. And you simply have to focus on the most important thing, which is your messaging and your offer. So the messaging is simply the words people see, right? So first sentence, hey, are you whatever? I'm not going to go into a copywriting compliance thing here, but generally the message of the ad copy. And then there's an offer in there, right? So click here to what is someone going to get as a result of clicking on that? It's going to take them to some type of landing page, opt in for a webinar, a lead magnet, something. Those two combined, when you have people moving off of Facebook and then they're converting, so they're opting in and we're optimizing the campaign for that event, that's going to be fed back into Facebook. And now Facebook's going to be like, oh, you want those people? Cool, let's go find them. And so this is why it's actually a really beautiful time to be advertising on this platform because it's easier to not be a sophisticated professional media buyer and actually do very well. Remember, our clients are health professionals. They're not media buyers. They spend about 5 to 10 minutes per day managing their ads. I say 5 to 10 minutes per day managing the ads because that's the least important part of this. The most important part of this is actually crafting the message, is the writing of the ad, because the messaging is what's going to stop people in the scroll in conjunction with the image or video. And that's the most important thing. Because job number one is if you have someone on their phone and they're scrolling, you want them to stop scrolling. That's the purpose, first purpose of the ad is to get them to stop the scroll. Now, if they stop the scroll and they start reading the first 1 or 2 sentences, which are what's going to be visible before they see more, those first sentences are vitally important to pull the person in to be like, hey, that's me. This is what I'm going through. This is what I desire. And as a result of that, now we have someone who's on your ad and they're consuming it. That's the message. The second piece to that is the offer compelling enough for them to leave the platform? Are they compelled enough to actually click learn more, click the link, and go to your landing page or lead form if you're using that native feature on Facebook? So if your offer is, something novel, different that they've tried before, that's going to get them off the platform to opt in, and that's going to feed the conversion back into Facebook or Instagram. Now, as that data comes back into the system, Facebook and Instagram will go and find more of your people. So it's going to go through your audience of tens of millions of people, most likely, and it's going to find those nuggets of people who are out there. So if you're looking for a 40-year-old who has adrenal fatigue, or a 50-year-old who's going through menopause who wants to lose weight, or a stay-at-home mom who just had kids and is looking to lose the baby weight, they're on Facebook and Instagram, and Meta will find them if your messaging and offer are on point. Okay, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Don't focus on the technology, focus on the psychology. Because the technology can change, right? Obviously, Facebook with iOS 14.5 and some of the privacy breaches has led to some of these changes. And for amateurs who freaked out, they just decided to stop advertising. But for people like myself and all of our clients who are a little bit more sophisticated, we're like, cool, awesome. Because the technology is irrelevant. Because when you focus on the psychology, you understand the messaging. You understand the emotional avatar that the person's going through. What are their fears and frustrations? What are their wants and desires? And when you understand that about your avatar, you can go anywhere, right? So you can start off on Meta, you get that dialed in, and then down the road, maybe it's on Google, YouTube, or maybe it's on TikTok, or maybe it's the new version of the Yellow Pages. It doesn't matter. The key is that it's all about the messaging. Because it can be a direct mail piece that you send out through lumpy mail in people's inboxes and their mailbox. And if the messaging sucks, they're going to toss it in the trash. But if the messaging's on point and has a good offer, people will take action. And so this whole idea of my people are on Facebook, or synonymous into that as well. People don't have time nowadays. They're not going to watch a webinar. They're not going to read a long sales page. They will if they're serious about solving the problem they want solved, right? So there's a lot of these common like misbeliefs and false beliefs that actually don't serve anyone. So if you have any of these, I want to encourage you to challenge them, right? So here's a really simple way. And I actually have another video on the channel that walks through this framework in a bit more depth. But anytime you have a belief like this, right? So the belief is my people are not on Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so let's just say that's the global belief. Question number one that we would ask ourselves is that 100% true? And the answer has to be no, right? Because do you know with 100% certainty that every single person, the 3 billion people on Facebook, and do you know all of them? No. So it's probably not 100% true. Question number two is it possible that there might be a few people that might be my avatar that are on Facebook or Instagram? Is it possible? Is it possible that there are some busy executives, busy CEOs, busy entrepreneurs, stay-at-home moms on these platforms out of the 3 billion users? It's probably possible. Okay, cool. Number three is, why wouldn't it be possible for me? And if you address a lot of limiting beliefs with those three questions, it starts to dissolve a lot of the shit that holds us back. Okay? So that's an example there. Another, what I just gave you is like, well, people don't have time nowadays to watch a longer webinar. Okay, well, here's how we dissect that. Is that 100% true? No. Is it true for some people? For sure. Is it true for others? No. Is it possible that there are some people who actually want to solve a problem who will be willing to watch a 45-minute webinar? Probably. Well, what makes you think that? Well, they probably have time to watch a movie. They have time to watch Netflix. Okay? People spend time where they prioritize different things. And then, well, why wouldn't it be possible for you? So whether we're talking about a 45-minute webinar or a longer sales page, people have a short attention span nowadays. They're not going to read this long page. For sure. Yeah. If it's of no interest to them, but if it is of interest to them, they will read as much as they need to. So when people ask me like, how long does the ad have to be? How long does the webinar have to be? How long does a sales page have to be? The answer is long enough to do the job. And so I don't care if a webinar is 20 minutes or 2 hours. Because the purpose is it's a filtering mechanism so that only the most committed and serious people go through the process, right? So think about for you, when was the last time you spent 2-3 hours doing something that had nothing to do with moving your growth, your business forward? Like just binging Netflix or watching a movie? Yeah, you had the time, right? It's just like you wanted an escape, you wanted a bit of downtime, that's fine. But we have the time. I spend about 15 hours a week driving my kids and watching them play soccer. That's 15 hours a week. Do I have the time? Yeah, we always have the time. We make the time for things that are a priority. So I'm sharing this with you because if you have beliefs like my people are not on Facebook, people don't have time to watch this stuff, whatever, those are beliefs that are stalling you and they're holding you back. And I don't want that to be the case because if you're watching this, you're most likely an amazing health professional who has an amazing gift that can transform a lot of lives. And if those beliefs hold you back, you're playing selfish and you're playing small because then no one knows you exist. And if they don't know you exist, then they can't get your help. So hopefully by the end of this video, you have a little bit more of a broadened horizon and a perspective to be a little bit more open-minded that your best clients are on Meta. Your best clients will put aside the time to do the work, to go through the stuff, to consume the information because it's important to them. And for everyone else, it's just not a priority. And those are not your perfect clients. Does that make sense? So anyways, let me know your thoughts on that below in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. We have hundreds of other videos to help you grow a successful coaching business online. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm Yuri, and I'll see you in the next video. I've helped more than 1,300 therapists and practitioners grow their coaching businesses. And today I'm going to share with you the 4-step model to help you attract more clients into your private practice as a therapist.